Everyone, Cabot Bluegill here. Quick little garden update. Here is the strawberries. They're doing nicely, starting to throw out some runners. That's that plot. And we have this group here. I got to get them weeded. That's what I came over here to do this morning. These are really throwing some runners. This group here. See, that'll be a plant there. These will all be plants. Some people say you should cut some of them off. I don't. These are the strawberries. Weeded, showed you that a minute ago, and it's full of weeds. I'm gonna get some pots out here, set some of these plants in them with some good soil, and then next spring I'm gonna start another bed with those. That's strawberries. Okay, this is the weed patch. Got the corn. This garden, it was really wet when I planted it. Did not germinate well. The corn did, but that end was just you couldn't even walk down through there. There's some cucumbers and weeds over there. I'm going to get to those later. There's a row of beans here. They didn't germinate well. This is Swiss chard. Beets. More Swiss chard. Now the first planting of peas, they just didn't germinate. So this is a second planting here. And then that row of beans was the same way. That was a second planting, and they're doing well now. This is the later garden. Everything planted here is more in line for the end of August to come into it. Although I did throw in those 5 Swiss chard, and we've had a nice meal of boiled Swiss chard off from those plants. Well, we'll move along, go over to the other garden where it looks better. Herb garden here, basil, chives, thyme, sage, rosemary, sativia. It's a sugar thing my wife's growing. One Brussels sprout, my rhubarb, and that's not doing anything. It's supposed to be scallions. Haven't done anything. Don't know why. This here garden, youngins are doing nicely. Potatoes, those are ready to be dug. Those are an early potato. They're not going to get very big. Once again, the weeds, I fight them all the time around here. Lumber trellis is really taken off. A lot of blossoms in there. I'm going to try and get these plants threaded a little bit. Some of them are starting to grab on to the trellis and go up, and it's looking good in here. Have this raised bed here. These tomato plants really took off. We finally got the right weather. There's a basil down in there, some green tomatoes. There is a cage. That one kind of got away from me. There's my chili peppers. And the jalapeno peppers have got one on them. I'm going to get a few. There's another one there. There again, this tomato plant really took in. That's a cherry tomato. Excuse me. And we have some garden lettuce peeking out of there. Coming right back. My wife uses some. I don't eat a lot of lettuce. I'm not caring for it. Okay, this raspberry patch is about done. I think about one more picking. You can see a few berries left, but about one more picking, and this one will be done. This raspberry patch is still producing. I'm going to try to hold the camera real still and really zoom in there. I apologize for the shake. There are some beautiful berries here. And this is a nice patch. It's done well. Try not to move too much. You can see that's a nice sized raspberry right there. They're really good. This is another little raised bed here. This is a spinach. The elderberries we put in this year that really are taking off. And the radishes. There's starting to get a few. Guys, this is the third planting in this bed of radishes that I put in this year. It's really produced a lot. And there's one beet. It was in the radish seed pack and I put it in there. I said, I don't know if it'll grow or not. But there was one beet that I put in here. No, that's not a beet. That's a Swiss chard plant. Well, that's a nice plant. Excuse me, there was one Swiss chard seed in with the radishes. Here's the other big garden. Those are my winter potatoes there. Tomatoes. More spinach. Peas. I got to get back out here after I do this. And I can pick some today. There's some that are ready to be picked. I lost most of these to a woodchuck. But it happens. We got the woodchuck. We live trapped him and moved him on. We have beets here. Those are soldier beans. Over there. Another row, those are red onions there. This row of potatoes here were some that were in the basement and they sprouted. They were regular ones we bought to eat. And they sprouted, so I planted them. I don't know what I'll get out of them. A little more Swiss chard. Another cherry tomato up there. These 5 peppers here are sweet peppers. I've never had peppers this early before. And they're loaded with them. I'm actually going to start picking some, but I can see I've got to get out here. Weed again. They just keep coming back. Some of those little cherry tomatoes are starting to ripen. I ate a couple yesterday. This is apple mint, my dill. I'm hoping that the dill will self-seed down through here. When it gets more to a seed, I'm going to take a string and kind of tie it so it doesn't lay down as far, and then sprinkle the seeds here. That's my wife's chocolate mint plant. That definitely needs to be harvested, some of it. These are some pole beans that I just had some seeds in my pocket. I planted them in. The woodchuck didn't get them. They're just going ballistic up there trying to get through the ceiling. These are weeds. I have a lot of weeds on this. They really like to grow. I'm telling you that. That's actually, I can't pronounce it, but that's an edible right there. This is apple mint, my dill. I'm hoping that the dill will self-seed down through here. When it gets more to a seed, I'm going to take a string and kind of tie it so it doesn't lay down as far, and then sprinkle the seeds here. That's my wife's chocolate mint plant. That definitely needs to be harvested, some of it. These are some pole beans that I just had some seeds in my pocket. I planted them in. The woodchuck didn't get them. They're just going ballistic up there trying to get through the ceiling. These are weeds. I have a lot of weeds on this. They really like to grow. I'm telling you that. That's actually, I can't pronounce it, but that's an edible right there. This is the zucchini garden. And I have zucchinis ready to be picked. One there, another one there, another one there. I pick them when they're small. I like them that way. And I'm delighted to find them. There's a summer squash in there. Another one be ready here. A few more cucumbers. That's winter squash down there. That's coming along nicely. That's another wild edible here. Oh geez, I can't ever remember the names. I can remember them by sight, but I have trouble with names anyway. I wouldn't make much of a politician. This side over here, once again, is winter squash. Up through, I don't remember what I put where. And then there's a few zucchinis up on this end. They were planted later than these. And there's one there ready to be picked. I'm gonna get back out here and get them. And this is the corn, squash, and beans. Now I didn't companion plant the way that I see most people do this. Mine were more of, well, I'm going to be honest with you, I planted a lot of seeds over here, and I actually dug some of the squash plants up with a shovel and I moved them. It was wet enough so I tried it, and they've all done really well, but it almost looks like a blossom down here, and I don't know why that plant should have died, because I broke it and I moved it, but I said, well, I'll leave it, see what it does. And there's actually some blossoms, but I do not expect that plant, well, it's hard to say. It looks better than it did. I think they're all going to live. Anyway, that's it for the garden. These in here into this area. Black raspberries, they're coming. 2 plants I put in. A couple cucumber plants in there. One of them's dying, one of them looks good. This is the last tomato and pole beans. And you can see they're coming along nicely. They look good. Everything's looking good around here.